What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the RTG Career Mode. It's episode number 57. There's loads to get through today, and with a week to go before deadline day, plus a bit of money in the budget, there's a bid here for Harvey Vale, and we're starting with this Benfica putting an offer for our 27-year-old, who really since coming in has just been a squad player. I'm going to try and sell him for 9 mil, because we've got the depth now, and then reinvest on our second signing of the season. Obviously, we signed Jarrell from Aston Villa, but I'm not done for transfers yet. I want at least one more player to come in to help us have the best possible chance to go for that treble. Vale to Benfica for 9 mil. We've made some amazing free transfers over the course of this save. Harvey Vale is probably one of the more forgettable ones, but you know, he played some decent minutes when he was given a chance, but now to Benfica for 9 mil, totally fine with that, as we've got enough depth on the wings, including Janos and an Indonesian winger who's come back from loan as well. So our budget now rises to 32 mil. That's just about enough for me to go after the new target I really want. Before we do that, we've had the match rescheduled emails, and here we go. Champions League this season. Oh my goodness, we are starting with Atletico and Benfica away. Not exactly an easy start for us this year. Then we've got Shakhtar away in Ukraine, so no home games yet. And then Dynamo Kiev away. We're playing at home. Oh, there we are. Young Boys at home. It's our first game. We've got to wait 5 games until we're at home against Young Boys. Then Napoli at home. And our final two in January, Dortmund and Real Madrid. Well, that's tough. That's tough to say the least. When I said at the back end of last season, I'm putting the pressure on for this year. Going to play one and only season in the Champions League with a target of winning the whole thing. Maybe I've bitten off more than I can chew. We'll do well to make the playoffs. Toughest league phase draw I've ever had, and it's not even close. Anyway, first game of today's episode. We'll play match day 1 for sure today, and possibly the Benfica game as well. Chelsea at home partner going for our 3rd straight league win to start the season off and maintain our 100% record. The Blues, who were the first team to beat us in the league last season after 30 unbeaten games. Come on, the Pilgrims. Yeah, Chelsea were the first team to beat us in the league last season after 30 games, the longest I'd ever gone in the Premier League without tasting defeat until Mr. Maresca turned up and, to be fair, played me off the park. I still remember that game. I got absolutely dominated and probably should have lost by more than one, really, but even so. Haven't forgotten it, as we'll be looking for revenge here. And again, 3 wins in as many games to start the season off. Excellent beginning to Premier League this year. How long can we maintain it? As Fernandez is denied by Unai Simon. Good start, still 0-0. Bar steps inside, wonderful footwork. What else do you expect from the Togolese prince to Fernandez? And there's Kante, takes his time, beats the last defender. Now can you finish? Yes you can. Glorious finish, sliding off balance under pressure, still hitting the top corner. That's King Kante. Also, what I really want to do this year as well is get Kante that Player of the Season award if possible, because, you know, two years ago, I remember it went to Kai Havertz at Liverpool, and to be fair, that was subjective. He was only just behind Kante in the race for the Golden Boot, and I think he won the assist title as well, so I could see why. But last year, Kante won the Golden Boot and the assist title. There was no subjectivity about it. It was just complete snub. That's all it was. There was no way Kante should not have been awarded Player of the Season last year. And once again, he's got that chip on his shoulder. He wants the Golden Boot for the 1st straight year, but that Player of the Season, yeah, he's got to win it this year, man. I very rarely care about individual awards. This year I do. To me, it's something I've mentioned before, and I know some people think it's a bit crazy. Oh my word! As big Jonathan Tah has just scored a big boy header to make it 2-1. That might be the most accurate header I've ever seen. When you talk about inch perfect, that is literally the only place he could have scored from that header there. That might have had a minus XG. I mean, there was no way. Look at that. I mean, Hinkeby could have jumped, but even so. Individual awards, to me, I don't really care that much. You know, if you ask me who the last 10 Ballon d'Or winners were, I'd have a good go, but I wouldn't be able to name them all and the year. They're not that important to me. And I've just thrown this away. My goodness, from 2-0 up to 2-2. What a gift. But this year, I want that Player of the Season for Kante. Haven't had a Player of the Season award winner yet. This year, I've got to get him one. And we've got to get back in front. This is an embarrassing throwaway here. To be fair, this is an incredible Chelsea team. And I have absolutely no doubt in my mind they will be in a title race this season with us. Last year was 2 horses for the entire campaign, us and Man City. I'm sure these guys will be involved this year But I shouldn't have given him a point though. I should have taken all three. I bottled that. So as deadline day is here, and on the back of the sale of Harvey Vale, I'm going to try and make one final signing on deadline day, and that is Federico Redondo, relegated with Leeds last season. But this guy is kind of the sort of player we need, really. You know, that versatility is so important to us, but also the high stamina as well. Crucial when you're playing mid-week games on a regular basis like we are now. Green all across the board physically and mentally, and in most places technically as well. He's my sort of player, and 6'3" is an added bonus as well. Good utility, man. Let's bring him in. You'll probably recognise the surname if you're an older viewer, and that's because he is indeed the son of the great Fernando Redondo. What a player he was, honestly. Absolutely elite defensive midfielder. And a tremendous talent. I always feel as though the word legend, we said this in the last episode, the word legend gets thrown about a bit too often nowadays. So I don't know if I'd call him a Real Madrid legend. But again, legend is such a... but is he? I mean, he's up there. He's up there. He was a tremendous player back in the late 90s. And for 26.5 mil, it looks as though his son, if he's half as good as his dad was, is going to be a steal for that fee. Let's bring him in. And yes, Madridistas, I know just how good Fernando Redondo was. On his day, as good as anyone else in the world in his position. But again, it's just for me, the word legend should only ever be given to like 4 or 5 players in club history. True club legends. And would he take Di Stefano's place? Ronaldo's place? Zidane's place? Puskas' place? I mean, I've named 4 there. I'll not even mention the likes of Ramos and Raul and Modric, but even so, his son is in on a 4-year, 60 grand a week deal, and he's half as good as his dad is. I know I'm onto a winner here, so welcome to Home Park. Federico Redondo. Yep, 6'3", so really, really tall, and great physical stats all across the board, and versatile as well. He's my sort of player in the prime of his career right now. Buzzing to get him in, and that'll be our final sign in the window. And with Hackney down with the ACL, he's going to be starting alongside Nathan Wood in the majority of our games. And you see the top deals on deadline day. The new Spurs boy who's joined Milan and now Union Berlin to save. Yang Min-hyuk off to the German side. Tygo Land has moved within the Premier League from Chelsea to Newcastle, 67.4 mil, and Koku is off to Sevilla as Milan have a bit of a clear out there for 57.4 million pounds. But yeah, the word legend to me is like, when you're describing someone or something as a legend, that means they transcend generations. And to me, you can only really reserve that for a few players. Maybe in the sport for multiple more, but for one club, I really feel, again, it should be reserved for just like 4 or 5 players. Difficult to omit the great Redondo, but again, if his son is half as good as he was, then yeah, I'm excited to see him. And he'll make his debut in our first game as well, outside the window. Crystal Palace away at Selhurst Park. Disappointing bottle against Chelsea, leading by 2 goals and then throwing it away. If we want the championship and a treble this season, we can't afford mistakes like this. Let's put it right here and return to winning ways. Palace at Selhurst Park. Come on, the Pilgrims. And that's a great game as well if you want to play along at home. Who would you say are the top 5 Real Madrid legends of all time? You can only have 5 in this list. I mean, obviously Di Stefano, Ronaldo, everyone's going to choose those 2. They're safe, you know that. It's like MJ and LeBron, you know, they're always going to be the top 2. They're in there. There's Barres tonight in the near post. But the other 3... I mean, it's so tough because of the amount of omissions you've got to make, you know. I personally would say Zidane. I would include Zidane because of what he's done as a manager as well. I would say Zidane. And then... oh, it's tough. It's really tough. The other 2, I honestly... ask me on a different day, I'll give you a different answer. I'm not sure. I think recency bias would probably tip me towards Sergio Ramos and Luka Modric for all they've won and their longevity as well. But the problem with that is, if you include those 2, you've hit the 5. You've hit the 5 already there, and 3 of those played at the same time, you know. So it's so difficult. Zagreb gets slowed down to the left-hand side there. To omit so many incredible players and for all they've done. But that's why, again, I do think the word legend should be regarded just for the absolute best of the best. When you think about the greatest players that have ever played for one team, and then there's only a few players outside of that you would remember in generations gone past. Yeah, I stand by that. I think legend should really be applied to just, again, around 6 or 7 players at the absolute most. I've had to go up now and improve it from 4 to 5 to 6 to 7, as you won't know, is denied, and Palace get it away. Still 0-0 for now, pressing for a winner. Just like saying that, you know, it's a good example here. I'll tell you a good example, David Beckham. I love David Beckham, who doesn't? But it's like saying he's a Real Madrid legend. It's like, well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, what a player on his day, you don't get me wrong, and in the few years he was there as Fernandes bangs in the last second winner, he was really good, but are you going to put him on the same level as Di Stefano? It's like, do you know what I mean? It's like, that's why legend should only be reserved for those absolute, all-time, generational, transcending players. Is Fernandes a Plymouth Argyle legend? Now that one I'm not too sure about. Well, he's certainly a legend for us in this one because he's banged in the game winner. Plymouth win it with the final kick of the game. I could do this all day, by the way. Like, literally, just going through all the major European clubs, all the perceived legends of those clubs, and whittling them down to just 5 or 6 names as the true all-time legends of that team. Is Jamie Carragher in Liverpool's legend list of 5 or 6? That's a toughie, but let's not think about it because I'll be here all day. Following game of Atletico Madrid, Champions League debut away at the Metropolitano. We've got an incredibly tough 8 fixtures, so wins in our first 2 or 3 games are going to be priceless, especially as they're all away from home. Our CL debut against Simeone's Atletico. Come on, the Players. I don't think he makes it for me, Carragher. Despite being, I think, top 3 in appearances, I think just listing 5 Liverpool legends, I'm not sure he makes it. I'll go Dalglish, Gerrard, Rush. I mean, you can't not say Salah now, can you? I mean, with the season he's having as well, I don't think you can omit Salah. If Liverpool do win the Premier League title this year as well, I think that'll clinch it. Salah would be in there for me. It's Kante! Well, he's a Plymouth legend, no debate in that one. Dalglish, Rush, Gerrard, Salah. I don't know about that 5th one, you know. I don't know. That's a tough one. I'd have to really think about it. Would you sneak Carragher in there? I'm not sure. Anyway, Kante with the opener. Plymouth dream start in Madrid. God, this is such a fun. I could do this all day. I could literally do this all day. This is so fun. But I need to concentrate because we've got the lead here. Let's not surrender it. It's exactly what we've done. Right from kickoff. Bottom corner, Atletico equalise. Here's a good one as well. Top 5 Docks career mode legends. I've been asked that question enough times. Does Kante make it? Does in this save, is Kante done enough in this save to be regarded as a top 5 Docks career? Top 5. Top 5. Maybe. Maybe. I mean, he's definitely a top 5 Plymouth legend. There's no debate in that. Come on! Mumba, Kante, Fernandes. Those 3 are safe. No one's going to debate that for the top 5 Plymouth legends. And I think Barr should make it as well. He's in his 4th or 5th year as a starting winger for us and scores some important goals as well. Lest we forget that first in the EFL Cup final last year when we were trailing by 1. And as for the 5th, I mean, who makes it? Would maybe Morgs, who's been here since the beginning. Oh, Kante, finish, hat-trick on his Champions League debut. Vandenberg's got a song, the only one who's got one. Oh, and Fernandes too, I guess, but I love this. And I love this performance. 3-1 away at Atletico. What a way to introduce ourselves on the big stage. Oh, we're ready for prime time. I'm ready to go all the way and win this. What a start in Madrid. Well, that is the sort of performance you go to bed dreaming about the night before you actually play the game. You don't expect it to happen, but when it does, you feel euphoric. And Ibrahim Kante is definitely feeling that right now. On his Champions League debut, he nets a hat-trick against what's regarded as one of the best defensive teams in European football. Not a bad way to introduce yourself, King. Plymouth off to a perfect start. Right, let's squeeze in 2 more. I've spent about half an hour chatting about the definition of the word legend today, so let's leave that for another video and concentrate on our final 2 games. Following contest, our final Premier League game for 4 wins in our first 5 and unbeaten to start the season off. Aston Villa at home park. Come on, the Pilgrims. Aston Villa legends? No, Doxy Boy, leave it. We'll do it in another video. God, this has been such a fun episode today, man. Seriously. I'm going to be thinking about this all night tonight, by the way. Seriously. I want to squeeze a workout in later, but I just know between sets I'll be sitting there thinking, oh, I've got a good one. Bayern Leverkusen legends, you know, like. Oh dear. Anyway, behind it, Jonathan David with the opener. Villa in front as things stand, set for our first loss in the league this season. Lasted 30 games last year. As things stand, we'll be ending after 4. We've got West Ham in the... oh, what a goal. EFL Cup in the week. And I will be rotating most of my starters for that one there. It's our lowest priority this year. But we're going to be going to it on the back of a loss and our first in the league this season. Johnny David at the double. Aston Villa, they're ending the unbeaten run after 4. A lot of rumours he'll be in the Premier League next year. He's been linked with a few of the big boys. I know Newcastle have thought if Isak does go, they'll be praying that doesn't happen. But if it was to happen, worst comes to worst, I know he's a target of Eddie Howe's. And there's Arsenal looking at him as well if they can't go after Victor, as Bar is denied by James Trafford. And this save, it's Aston Villa where he's at, back in the Premier League after winning promotion last year. I don't know how this team was in the second tier last season, because they're good enough to be a top 4 team in this save. As Redondo finds Kante. And we are still down by 2. Well, when you talk about getting brought right back down to earth, this is it in a nutshell. Sky high after our big win in Madrid on our Champions League debut. Come back home, 3 days time, play host to a newly promoted side, lose 2-0. And don't get me wrong, this team was too good for the Championship last year, we know that. But even so, fact still stands, our first loss at home to a newly promoted team. And you want to win a lot, Doxy boy? You couldn't even last 5 games unbeaten this year. Embarrassing. Yep, let's end on this and try and get back to winning ways to close the episode out. Our final game, West Ham in the EFL Cup. Obviously, we do want the quad this season, but this is still our 4th and lowest priority. So back up side as we hopefully will make it through regardless. Final game, West Ham. Go on, Pilgrims. Yeah, don't get me wrong, of course I want to get through, but with Aston Villa beating us on the weekend and another key Premier League game coming in 3 days' time, that is of more importance to me than the result tonight. So West Ham have a golden chance, and they might well take it. 1-0 down, 24 minutes in. Not the ideal start, and as things stand, so for back-to-back losses, and already, if you count the Charity Shield loss, 3 losses in 7 games to start the season off. Not ideal. Vandenberg! Oh, Vandenberg, my lord! Vandenberg! I don't think he's a Plymouth legend, but he's got the equaliser. It's his first goal in 2 years. I can't remember the last time I saw Davy Vandenberg score a goal. Well, actually, I guess I can now. Buzzing with that. And again, not overly important whether we go on to win this game or not, but to see Davy capitalise on a rare start like that, you know, I'm pleased to see it. And Raksaki has literally just hezzied on his man to sprint down the left-hand side, rolls it in. Knight's given space, stops on a dime. Matthews couldn't control it. Clips it far post. Davy! Vandenberg! 2 years, no goals. 2 in 54 minutes. That's so unlucky that, seriously, a minute and a half to go. About to nod it back to Coops to flex off. I think that was Afaiki for the corner. And if this goes in, it'll be absolutely typical. No, who's there to head it away? Who'd you think? He is a top 5 legend after all, Davy Vandenberg. Come on, almost there, last chance. Last chance. Coops, you got to, if you come, you've got to get there. I did not ask you to come for that. You don't just come and then stand there, mate. What a gift. Those are the moments where you just think, well, what can I do about that? Like, seriously, what can I do? Didn't ask him to come, just comes and he stands there. Oh, dear. Well, chance to redeem yourself, Coops, because you are the penalty king, son. So if you can redeem us by sending us through here, all is forgiven. Logan to take the first, scores. Yep, he was integral to our success last year. Oh! As he almost got gloves on the first, and now Morgan Whittaker, captain for the night, one of the OGs, restores the lead, 2-1. But we need some saves. We need some saves. We've got one. He just wanted to do the pens. That's what he wanted. He thought, I'm going to cost us this. I want to do the pens, mate. Randell gives the 2-goal cushion. Cooper absolutely loves penalties. 3-2. I've gone the same corner every time. Surely Karnasech is going to go there at some point. But, you know what? If it keeps on working, keep on going there. It does, 4-2. And that means that if Coops denies Schneider, then we are through and we escape what was supposed to be an absolute bottle. He's not going to put much power on it, but he has chipped it in. But we can still win it with Coops taking it. He did it twice last year. Can he do it again? I've got so much temptation to chip it, but I'm not going to. I went top left last year both times. They both went in. But I went right this time each time. It's all worked. Which way am I going? Even I don't really know. It's Coops. Top left. Plymouth Argyle Legends list. Is there room for one more? It might be Michael Cooper. That'll do it, guys. Massive thank you for watching the episode. Really hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, then please do drop a like. I've won 3 straight penalty shootouts. What's going on? Most love to you all. Have a fantastic day. I'll return in the next one with more big games in the Champions League, aiming to improve on our perfect start. More games in the Premier League, aiming to get back to winning ways, and the EFL Cup following round against whoever it will be. Have a great day. Much love, and I'll see you in the next episode very soon.